Yo, what is up? What is up? What's good? What's good, my good people? Welcome to Blues House, and this is Blues News. You know who I am? I am Bluminati, man, and we are here talking about this Jonathan Majors verdict. I told you we're gonna be doing verdict watch, and the verdict has come in today. Um, I don't know to have a sigh of relief or it's many ways we can look at this verdict. I will say that it's many ways we can look at this verdict. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, do that, man. If you're in the chat, share this, share this, share this. You know what I'm saying? Let your people know who, you know what I'm saying, that we're getting this out here because I do think that this was a uh I don't even know the term I want to use, but this was not it's you can look at it two ways. You could say it was good or it was bad. I think um the DA lost. I will say that the DA lost, but I don't think that their job was to convict this man of guilt. The job that they sought out to do, I think they won in that, which was to drag this man's name through the mud. They did not have a case. Everything that was big, everything that was um supposed to be this grandiose, oh, he assaulted her, oh, he did this to her, didn't happen. They dropped the strangler. Every charge that could have come with some real heat, they dropped it. Dropped it. So before the media was, they already spinning it. I wanted to come out and do my video of him not being guilty because he is not guilty. You know, he was found not guilty on uh two charges, right? Not guilty on the two main charges, the charges that probably came with the most heat. The things that he was guilty on was misdemeanors and ticket charges. And I want to let's go through what he was guilty of. So the verdict came in, and please salute to Danny. Danny did tremendous work. Stayed in the courtroom. She came on today. She would talk about when they came asking for all those questions. She said her heart dropped, and she was going through it. So I want to salute her. She stayed down, did everything, you know what I'm saying, the right way, even pushed her bias to the side and still reported straight up and down. You know what I'm saying? So verdict came in at 2:25 p.m. today, and it was not guilty of assault in the third degree with intent to cause physical harm, which means that the jury, found that he did not mean or had no intention of hurting this woman, right? No intention of hurting this woman. Assault in the assault in the third degree with intent to cause physical injury. He was found not guilty. To me, that was the main charge. Next, assault in the third degree, recklessly causing physical injury. He was guilty of that. That's what they found him guilty. So basically, they found him guilty of accidentally hurting her, if you even can call it that, right? Oh, I put her in the car. I put her back in the car. Um, you know what I'm saying? She slipped or whatever and caused some pain to her. That's what he was found guilty of. Next, we move on to aggravated harassment in the second degree. Not guilty of aggravated harassment. And I'm gonna read through all what these charges, what they mean. I'm gonna just go through this real quick, first. Not guilty of that. Aggravated harassment. When it has aggravated in front of it, it's normally a higher charge, right? So he was not guilty of that. Then he became guilty of harassment in the second degree, which is a ticket, a violation. This is something where you would go down to, you know what I'm saying? If any, that's like in a traffic violation. That's what harassment in the second degree is. He was guilty of uh turning, you know what I'm saying, changing lanes without putting his blinker on. That's what this is the equivalent of. So I want to get out in front of, or try to get out in front of the mainstream media before they try to turn this into something that it's not. I've already seen them talk about uh him being guilty of domestic violence. Nothing here shows that he is guilty of domestic violence. None of this says he was guilty of domestic violence. Guilty of assault in the third degree of recklessly causing physical harm, not with the intent. Not he sought her and tried to whoop her ass. That's not what he was found guilty of. Reckless, no intent, no malice involved. Right? No malice involved. Oh, I ain't mean to do that. But since you was a part of it, they had to place blame on somebody. Right? Now let's go down the line of what he was guilty of. And explain. This is from the New York Penal Code. He was found guilty of let's do this harassment charge. Harassment in the second degree. Let me share this. Let me share my screen. Is it this one? Yeah, that's it. I think it's this one. Let's share this. Harassment in the second degree. Harassment in the second degree, physical contact or attempt or threat to do some. The specified count is harassment in the second degree. Under our law, a person is guilty of harassment in the second degree when with intent to harass or annoy or alarm another person, he or she. Select appropriate alternative, strike, shoves. See that word, shoves, kicks, or otherwise subject such other person to physical contact. So basically just touching somebody can be deemed as harassment in the second degree, right? Or attempts to threatens to do something. Follows a person. Now we know she harassed, right? But she was not on trial. See, that's what I hate about this. She was not on trial. She wasn't on trial. He was on trial, and they got him for some of this bogus because they couldn't get him on anything real because they had nothing to get him on. They had nothing to get him on. Follows a person in or about a public place. Now, who we saw doing that? Who do we see running a whole track meet behind this dude, following him, chasing him for blocks? Engages in a course of conduct or repeatedly commits acts with alarm or seriously annoy. So just to seriously annoy somebody, you can get a ticket for annoying somebody because that's what this is. That's what this is. Which serve no legitimate purpose. Means no legitimate purpose means the absence of expression or of ideas or thoughts other than threats or intimidating or coercive conduct. I honestly don't even know where they got this from or how he was found guilty of this one. I really don't know. But I think they wanted to split the baby on this one. You know what I'm saying? The following term used in that definition has a special meaning. Intent means conscious, objective, or purpose. Thus, a person acts with intent to harass, annoy, or alarm a person when his or her conscious, objective, or purpose is to do so. All of this is like mumbo jumbo speech, really, if you think about it. In order for you to find the defendant guilty of this crime, so this is in order to be found guilty of, they lay it all down. People are required to prove from all evidence in the case beyond a reasonable doubt both of the following two elements happen: that on or about said date, select appropriate alternative, struck, shoved, kicked, or otherwise subjected to physical contact or attempted or threatened to do the same. See, like I said, physical contact. Because he put her back in the car. If you looked at it that way, him putting her back in the car, he has now harassed her. Even though she was coming after him, he was protecting himself. Him putting her back in the car now can be deemed as harassment in the second degree. This is disgusting, ladies and gentlemen. This is like one of them if y'all in the military, y'all know that UCMJ code, that catch-all UCM, I can't even remember what it is. I've been out so long, I don't even want to talk about it, but this is like a catch-all. If we can't get you on something, we can damn sure get you on this, because if you touched anybody, any kind of physical contact, we can get you on this. Followed by in or about a public place or places, engaged in a course of conduct or repeatedly committed acts which alarmed or seriously annoyed and which served no legitimate purpose. and that the defendant did so with intent to harass, annoy, or alarm. Now, I don't, it says people are required to prove from the evidence in this case beyond a reasonable doubt. Both of these two things had to be true for them to say that this happened beyond a reasonable doubt. I don't know how they got to him being guilty looking at these things and saying this is what happened beyond a reasonable doubt. I don't see that. Both of these have to be true. The defendant had to do so with intent to harass. I didn't in the video that we all saw, I did not see intent to harass, annoy, or alarm. I saw intent to get your ass the hell up off me as I'm trying to run away and get away from your crazy ass. That's what I saw. Right? That's what I saw. So that's harassment in the second degree. Let me see. He was also found guilty on the third degree recklessness, third degree, right? And that, pull that up. Here we go. Let me share this. All right. Assault in the third degree, physical injury, recklessness. The count is assault in the third degree. Under our law, a person is guilty of assault in the third degree when the person recklessly causes physical injury to another person. Recklessly. I'm gonna keep saying that. Recklessly. The following terms used in that definition have a special meaning. Physical injury means impairment of physical condition or substantial pain. A person acts recklessly with respect to physical injury when that person engages in conduct which creates or contributes to a substantial and unjustifiable risk that physical injury to another person will occur, and when he or she is aware of and consciously disregards that risk, and when that risk is of such nature and degree that disregard of it constitutes a gross deviation from the standard of conduct that a reasonable person would observe in that situation. I don't know how they found this man. I'm reading these charges. I'm trying to figure out how he was found guilty of these. And like I said, I think that since these were such lesser charges that don't come with like anything, I'm talking the misdemeanor of misdemeanor charges, right? That they just said, all right, I guess we'll just give him the misdemeanor. The thing is, I don't even think they should. I think they did what, 3 days of deliberation or something like that, 2 days. Shouldn't even have got that far. The thing is, this shouldn't even have made it to fucking court. But the thing is, when you get to court and now you got a jury, you are at the behest of juries. No matter how good you did, no matter how good your team of lawyers did, the jury could be not listening. You know, it's a lot of things. And then, oh, well, we got to, you know what I'm saying? Because they did go back and want to ask for certain things. Probably because they wasn't listening, or because the judge didn't make the distinction of what to really deliberate on. Didn't give them the proper instructions on how to either come up with a guilty or not guilty verdict. Right? Let's see. No, where there's evidence of voluntary intoxication. Now, this is another thing. This is crazy. Where there's a evidence of voluntary intoxication on the part of the defendant, a person also acts recklessly when he or she creates such a risk, but is unaware of that risk solely by reason of his or her voluntary intoxication. I think that right there, because they had been drinking, so they were intoxicated. And I think this is how they got it. When the liquor's in the system, ain't no telling, you know what I'm saying? I think that's how they got him. This is the only way that they can get this, is the whole intoxication thing, because a person also acts recklessly when he or she creates such a risk, but is unaware of that risk solely by reason of his or her voluntary intoxication. So if they came out and said that during that whole scene of him placing her back in the car, oh, he was drunk, so he was reckless. No regard with what was going on. He was reckless. I think that would be the only way that they can get him on this, because I'm reading this, I'm not seeing where you get a guilty verdict with this. I'm still not seeing it. In order for you to find the defendant guilty of this crime, the people are required to prove from all the evidence in the case beyond a reasonable doubt, both of the following two elements happen. That on or about said date in the county, the defendant caused physical harm to, and see, I still don't believe that they proved that he caused physical harm to her. So I'm going to scratch one off. Already, they didn't prove anything beyond a reasonable doubt. Then, two, the defendant did so recklessly. I saw him being gentle, putting her in the car. He did that so she wouldn't run out in traffic. We all saw the video. She didn't care about her life. She wanted that phone. She wanted that phone. If the people have proven beyond a reasonable doubt both of these elements, you must find the defendant guilty of this crime. If you find the people have not proven, so I'm in awe trying to figure out how they split the baby, how they went down the middle on this. I'm still in awe that I'm not going to sit here and act like I don't understand, because some people just lean this way. Some people probably already had a guilty verdict on him from the jump, right? Soon as he came out the gate, they was probably ready to convict him. Media did the spin on the media, calling him, this ain't even so. And to go forward, this isn't even a domestic violence case anymore. This isn't even domestic violence. But the media is going to try to spin this and say that this is a DV case. That this was domestic violence. That he's an abuser. Just watch what I say. They are going to try to spin this and say that he is an abuser, which is nuts. Before I get to the second half, let me go to these comments real quick. These stills are what it do. Son of deck, blowing my body to be a menace. Yes, I need everybody to be a menace. Everybody should be a menace. Everybody should proclaim their disgust at this. You know what I mean? Kenny Cake say they accomplished that much. This is still bogus. Yes, because that's what they did. And she is referring to what I said earlier about they were not. I believe in my heart of hearts that this was not about getting a conviction, because with this, to me, they didn't get a conviction. They didn't get a conviction. This is like being guilty of, like I said, a traffic ticket. That's what this is. So they didn't get the conviction, but they did win in dragging this man's name through the mud. And that's what their goal was. This goal was never, but they put rookies on the team as prosecutors. They didn't bring out the 18 for this. Rookies, first year, second year, right? Mika says, what up, Mika? Correct. D Stizzle says that part. Jaywalking. Right. It's the equivalent of jaywalking. That's what this is. What he was found guilty of is the equivalent of jaywalking. No intent, no malice, no preconceived notion I'm about to beat on this woman. He was not found guilty of being an abuser. He was found guilty of reckless assault. You can get reckless assault from riding your bike and falling into somebody on accident. On accident. Not that you sought out to do it, but you accidentally did it. Car accidents can be viewed as reckless assault. Right? You didn't mean to do it, but you was reckless. They could write that on the ticket. Reckless. You know what I'm saying? Reckless driving. Wasn't driving with the intent to hurt anybody, but you was being foolish. Mika says, but people are already, and that's the thing. That's why I'm trying to get ahead of it and say he was found not guilty on 2 counts, which is true. He was found not guilty on 2 counts. See, they're going to come out and say he was found guilty on assault. That's what they're going to come out and say. They're going to come out and do the negative thing. He was found guilty. So I'm going to come out and be positive with it. He was found not guilty of 2 counts. D Stizzle says, I've seen late night couple conversations. Right. Come on, man. She ran in front of that car if the driver wasn't paying attention. Right. Now, look. That's something that I said. She was so hell-bent on trying to get this man's phone, she had no regard for her own life. No regard for her own life. She chased this man through the streets of Manhattan, late night. Don't know what the driver could be driving drunk. Like these Stizzle said, if that person wasn't paying attention, it could have been something way worse. Way worse. Way worse. Andre Ware, what up? In the court of public opinion, he was already guilty. Now this just gives them more ammunition to those people. Yeah. They do. But you know what? This is what he was guilty of. His worst fear just came true. He was guilty of calling the police because a woman texted him and said that she may be killing herself. If he had never called the police, think about this. I want everybody to think about this. If he had never would have called the police, if he never would have involved the police, we wouldn't even hear about this. If he never would have called, if he never would have done the right thing, because that's what he's guilty of, doing the right thing. That's what he's guilty of. If he never would have involved the police in this situation, because she wasn't trying to involve the police. She's sitting there butt ass naked, half naked, thinking that he was going to come through the door. They was going to kiss and make up, and she probably was going to get, you know what I'm saying, get some D real quick, and everything was going to be kosher the next day. She thought she can get him back. That's why she laying on the floor, faking like she passed out. But no, my man's did the right thing, called the police, and now he's guilty. Let's go over what he was found not guilty of. Let's go over find what he was not guilty of. Because this makes sense too. This is what a lot of people probably not gonna talk about. Right? The aggravated assault in second degree. This is the big shit. This is the big shit. He was found not guilty of this. Aggravated assault in the second degree. Under our law, a person is guilty of aggravated assault in the second degree when with intent to harass, annoy. Did I read? This is the one I read already, is it? Hold on. This might be the one I already read. No, that's the one. Okay, that's the right one. So, person is found guilty of aggravated assault in the second degree when with intent to harass, annoy, threaten, or alarm another person. He is intentionally and repeatedly harasses another person by following such person in or about a public place or places, by engaging in a course of conduct, or by repeatedly committing acts with places such as such person in reasonable fear of physical injury. Who did that? I don't know who did that. Who was committing the act repeatedly of harassing or following with the intent to do harm? She even said it out her own mouth that she hit my man's. She assaulted him by grabbing the phone and repeatedly hit him. That's what she said out of her mouth. Effective December 24, 2012. This section was renumbered from the penal law, whatever. The statute defines the crime as follows. A person is guilty of aggravated harassment, second degree, the intent to harass. No, I read that already. Commits the crime of harassment in the first degree and has previously been convicted of the crime of harassment in the first degree. Discharge and search the language of harassment. The additional element of has previously been convicted of the crime of harassment in the first degree within the preceding 10 years must be charged. Okay, this is just saying that if it had been a first degree already, what will happen? Intent means conscious objective or purpose. Thus, a person acts with intent to harass, annoy, threaten, or alarm another person when his or her conscious objective or purpose is to do so. He had no intent. There was no intent. That's why he was found not guilty, because he did not intentionally. They got him on the reckless. Couldn't get him on the intent because he had no intention of hurting this. Everything that he did was protection. Everything he did was out of respect for this woman. He did exactly what you were supposed to do to de-escalate a situation. A person intentionally harasses another person with his or her conscious objective to do so. Physical injury means impairment of physical condition or substantial pain. Now, she kept saying she wasn't in pain, and we still don't know where this injury came from. The prosecution never laid out a path of this injury came. That matter of fact, nowhere did the prosecution say this is where she hurt her arm at, or this is where she got the bruise on her finger. Not one time did they say that. Public place means in which the public or a substantial group of persons has access and includes, but is not intended or not limited to, highways, transportation facilities, schools, places of amusement, parks, playgrounds, and hallways, lobbies, other portions of apartment houses, and hotels not constituting rooms or apartments designed for actual residence. Note, add where appropriate. Transportation facility means any conveyance, premises, or place used for or in connection with public passenger transportation, whether by air, railroad, motor vehicle, or other method. It includes aircraft, watercraft, railroad cars, buses, and air, boat, railroad, and bus terminals and stations, and all appurtenances thereto. In order for you to find the defendant guilty of this crime, the people are required to prove from all the evidence in the case, beyond a reasonable doubt, both of the following two elements: that on or about said date in the county of, the defendant harassed by repeatedly following in or about a public place or places, or by engaging in a course of conduct which placed specified in reasonable fear of physical injury, or repeatedly committing acts which placed them in reasonable fear or physical injury. And two, the defendant did so intentionally and with intent to harass, annoy, threaten, or alarm. So there you go. Those two things they can now, which is weird. It's hella weird to me that they were cool with finding him not guilty on this intent, but then they found him guilty on the reckless, even though the intent and the reckless damn near read the same. Right? I think, like I said, the only thing that might have got him was the alcohol, you know what I'm saying, voluntarily intoxicated. That, I think that's the thing that might have put them over, you know what I'm saying, when it came to the language of recklessness. Because like I said, the people never proved where she got her injury from. So I can't really, if I'm a jury, I can't really say that he recklessly did anything, because we don't know where the fuck her injury came from. We don't know. We could speculate, but then that would be reasonable doubt, because that's speculation. Right? Let me know if I'm wrong. Let me know if I'm tripping. Let me know if I'm tripping. It's from here to there. We don't know when did she get hurt at. I guess they did come in and wanted Chloe's statement again. This was during deliberations. They wanted to hear Chloe's statement again, saying that her time in the club said that her finger was hurt, so they asked for ice. Cool. That still don't mean that she heard it in the car or during that whole exchange in the car. Or maybe she did. Maybe she heard her finger hitting him or moving about and doing all the crazy stuff that she was doing. Or she could have heard it in the club. And then when she heard it in the club, asked for ice. I don't know. I don't know. No clarity in that. No clarity. This is wild. This is wild. So this is what he was found not guilty of. And like I said, I don't have the charges. Well, not the charges, but what could happen from these charges. I think up to a year in jail is the most that could happen, which he's not gonna get any jail. This'll be, like I said, the one that he was found guilty of is a violation. Like I said, jaywalking, getting a traffic ticket for not putting your blinker on. It's one of those type of things. And the other one is just a misdemeanor charge. Not a felony, not anything bad. It's a misdemeanor. This shouldn't even have went to court. Shouldn't have went. Once they started dropping charges, we know shit was fishy then. Strangulation charge out the window, just gone. What happened? What happened to the strangulation charge? That's the only reason why we here. Because the police came in and said, did he strangle you? The only reason why he was arrested was because of that. That gets dropped and they come up with whole new charges. Trump up some new shit. Without evidence. To me, that's bullshit. I don't think once you drop the charges on something, you shouldn't be able to go retroact some new charges just because you think this could happen. Right? I think that's fucked up. Excuse me cussing, but I think that's trash to me. We dropping our charges, which is basically what they did just to bring up new charges on this dude. All because he called, like I said, only thing he is guilty of is trusting the judicial system. Him calling the police. Him doing things the correct way. And I want to know what effect this is going to have on the future of people calling the police in a situation like this. Let alone a black man calling the police in a situation like this. And they wonder why black people don't like to get involved with the police. Because it's always a chance you're the one going to jail. Or something bad happening to you. We limit our interaction with the police just for that reason. Because you never know. You never know. You want to go to jail or you want to go home. Shit like that. And instead of even hearing that, it's like, well, I'm not even going to deal with the police. If he wouldn't even have dealt with the police, no 911 call, no nothing, we wouldn't even be here right now. We wouldn't even be having this discussion. That's what makes this so bad and so damning. Him doing the right thing caused him all of this grief. This man ain't never going to call the police again. Mark my words. You will never, ever see a 911 call from Jonathan Majors ever again. Somebody could be lying on the street about to die. And I hate to sound callous, but I would advise him to just step over that person and to keep walking. Get somebody else to do it. That's how egregious this is. That's how egregious this is. And I know the media having a field day right now. They already saying found guilty of 2 cases of assault. No, he was not found guilty on 2 cases of assault. Let's do this last charge, which is he was guilty of, or not guilty of, the aggravated harassment, which is harassment in the second degree. Pull it up. So this is the other charge that he was not found guilty of. Harassment in the second degree. Under our law, a person is guilty of harassment in the second degree when with intent to harass or alarm another person. Select appropriate alternative, strike, shove, kick, or otherwise subject such other person to physical contact or attempts to or threatens to do the same. Follow the person in or about a public place. Like I said, we saw who did that. The crazy thing is all of these charges go to her. This whole case is like on some Twilight Zone shit, right? Everything he did, everything that he was supposed to do, and she the one who did the most. If we flipped everything and she was on trial, she would be guilty of every single fucking charge. Every one of these charges, she fit the bill for. Easy. Yet he the one on trial for doing the right. I just hate that shit. For doing the right thing. Engages in a course of conduct or repeatedly commits acts which alarm or seriously annoy such a person. I know he was annoyed. You know he was annoyed. He ran from her. He tried to get away. Such other person would serve no legitimate purpose. No legitimate purpose means the absence of expression or ideas, thoughts, to other threats or intimidation or coercion, coercive conduct. The following terms used in that definition has a special meaning. Intent means conscious, objective, or purpose. Thus, a person acts with intent to harass, annoy, or alarm a person when his or her conscious objective or purpose is to do so. That's what she did. She was annoying the hell out of this man about this damn phone. Girl, go sit down. Don't worry about who Cleopatra is. Go sit down. You lucky. You lucky to even be that I'm kicking it with you right now. Let me go to these. Let me see. Mika G says she did. They missed that part of the video. Nothing but doubt all. And through this process, justice for Jonathan Majors indeed. Facts, exactly. No clarity. No clarity, man. Andre Ware says she brought the charges back because she was upset because Jonathan started dating Megan Good. Yeah, you're right. Cleopatra. Yeah, Cleopatra. They have already started a petition. And it should, and I'm glad that they started a petition. It should be a petition. Because this is a misgross use of justice. This was, if I'm a New York taxpayer, I'm sick right now. Why did we just spend all this money on this damn case for it to come out to some bubblegum action? For it to come out to a traffic violation, basically. So in order for you to find the defendant guilty of this crime, the people are required to prove from the evidence in this case beyond a reasonable doubt that both of the following two elements happen. That on or about said date, the defendant struck, shoved, kicked, or otherwise subjected to physical contact or attempted or threatened to do the same, followed in or about a public place or places, engaged in a course of conduct or repeatedly committed acts which alarmed or seriously annoyed and which served no legitimate purpose. And number two, that the defendant did so with the intent to harass, annoy, or alarm. Like I said, this is all for her. This is all for her. This is all for her. If you find the people have done to prove beyond a reasonable doubt, blah, blah, look, man, y'all let me know if I'm tripping. Am I tripping? I just read through what the two that he was found not guilty of, which were the major ones, and the two that he was found guilty of, which were the lesser charges. If you even want to really call them charges. That's the thing. I don't even know if we can really call these charges. That's like, you know what I'm saying? When you get a jaywalking ticket, do I say charges? Do I say you were charged with what? Jaywalking? You charged with jaywalk? No, it's a violation. Here go your ticket, sir. Have a good rest of it. They could have wrote my man a ticket, told him have the rest of the day, pay your fine, and go about your business. That's what they could have did with this. Let me see what the I want to see what a sentencing on that would be. Let me see. Want to see what the sentencing will be on the uh assault in the third degree, reckless assault. Let's see what the so bring this up. And this is just from a law office. I'm just speedballing real quick, you know what I'm saying? But for this is coming, like I said, this comes from a law office. It said the sentence, because assault in the third degree is a class A misdemeanor, the maximum possible sentence is up to a year in jail. In lieu of being sentenced to jail, the judge may sentence you to a 3-year probation term. So if anything, he can get 3 years of probation for this. And I don't even see that. Tell you the truth, I don't even see that. I think he's been embarrassed enough, you know. They might give him I don't know. I know he will not. I put I want to say this. He will not do any jail time for this. He will not serve any jail time. Right? Now I want to see what the punishment will be for the harassment in the second degree. Let's see what the harassment is for that. Because this is all stupid, man. Look at this. Y'all don't look at this, man. Penalties for second degree harassment in New York. Because harassment in the second degree is a violation, like I said, a violation, the maximum penalties that can be imposed include no more than 15 days of incarceration and no more than $250 in fine. They should have just let my man pay his fine and go home. We shouldn't even be hearing about none of this. For one thing, it should have never even got to no trial. It shouldn't even have got the trial. Let my man pay his 250 bones, go home. Go home to making good. Have him a good day. I shouldn't be talking about, no YouTuber should be talking about this because this shouldn't even have gotten that far. He shouldn't have been arrested. None of this. This is crazy. This is madness. This is madness. Why did they drag my man through the mud like this? Like I said, the DA lost. I know they're going to try to spin it to act like that they won their case. They lost their case. This case was lost. But they're going to celebrate because what they did win in is the court of public opinion. They dragged Jonathan Major through the mud. He's already lost so much stuff. And who knows if he can rehabilitate himself from this point going forward. Who knows that? Andre is saying Variety has just reported that Marvel has dropped him. That's BS. That's trash. Dropped him for what? He didn't do anything. According to what we just witnessed, he didn't do anything. I read the charges. Like I said, tell me if I'm tripping. Tell me if I'm wrong. But according to those charges, what did he do? What did he do? Recklessly? That's like reckless assault is like if, let's say you walking, open up the door, don't know that somebody's behind you, and you close the door, and their hand gets stuck in the door. You just recklessly assaulted them. That's reckless assault. The harassment. We talked about the harassment charge. Look at this. 250. He will not see any jail. Why? Where's his? I hope he sued the PR team that dropped him. Everybody who distanced themselves from him should be sued. I hope all the top actors want to work with him, especially black. I want Denzel to come out and say I work with him. I want Samuel Jackson to come out and say I work with him. All the people who make money in Hollywood, especially the black actors and actresses, say I want to work with this guy. I know Chillmarker kept saying when Magazine Dreams come out, we should support that film. Hate to say, I kept telling him, Magazine Dreams is not coming out. It's not coming out because it shows him too much in a bad light with that movie. That movie is not coming out. I just say that. So we got to figure out another way to support him. Whatever his next venture is, whatever he does, if it's a movie or whatever, that's what you support. But Magazine Dreams is not going to be, that's not coming out. Disney is not releasing that. That is not coming out. But if he does another what he did on Netflix, I can't remember the movie that he did on Netflix, support that. Anything that JM does, run to it, support it, show love to it. Let the Hollywood elites know that he is still supported out here. Hopefully, I hate that we now have to wait till February for his sentencing. I think they should have just did, like, to me, this sentence. Why are we waiting on the sentencing? That's what I don't get. Sentence that day. The judge should already, to me, the judge should already be prepared to sentence. He should already have his scenarios. All right, if he's guilty of this, we give him that. If he's guilty, he should already have the scenario. So I don't get why we wait so long for a sentencing. Because now I'm stuck in limbo. I don't know what's going on. Just sentence me now. Shit, if you saying that I'm guilty on the $250 fine, can I pay my fine now? Right? Let me pay this fine now. Hey, I got $250. Let me pay this fine. Can I pay it? You judge, where the line at? You know, when you go to traffic court, they got that line. Hey, go over here to pay your ticket, to pay your fine, court fees and the fine over on this line. Where that's at? And are you gonna give me time, or you gonna give me probation? What you gonna do, judge? Like, come on, man. Like, this shit shouldn't take this long to sentence. Especially if I was found not guilty of doing a damn thing. I was found not guilty of hurting someone. Intentionally hurting someone. Let me preference that. It's bad, man. This is a bad look for the Manhattan district attorney. This is a bad look for the Manhattan court system for even letting this happen, because this judge could have threw this case out long time ago. Right? It's a bad look for New York, all just to me. They say New York ain't been the same since Snoop came through and crushed the buildings. This is a bad look for New York. Bad look. Bad look. Y'all let me know what y'all think. This dude, JM, is just guilty of being a nice guy. Guilty of doing the right thing, calling the police. That's what he was guilty of. Guilty of being a nice guy, guilty of calling the police because a person that he seemed to genuinely care about was on some fuck shit. He ends up getting arrested. His name gets sporn through the mud. Career in shambles. Didn't even do nothing bad. Verdict came out that he didn't do shit. That's basically, this verdict says, oh, he didn't do nothing, but that's what this verdict means. He didn't do nothing, but I don't think and y'all let me know what y'all think. We'll be going live again later on tonight. Blurred AF. I'm sure we're going, and this isn't the end of it for me. I'm gonna be talking about this because this just rubs me the wrong way. I hate to see things like that, especially when this is not uh, a clear-cut case, or it is a clear-cut case. Let me take that back. But the way the media is spinning it and spun it from the beginning, the way that they just shitted on this black man like this rubs me the wrong way. So this has been Blues News. I am Bluminati. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. And justice for Jonathan Majors. Justice for Jonathan Majors. Free Kane. Free Kane. I'm out. Sunny Beats.